Okay, World Cafe. I've never learned this, but I have, I think RSPO has used it. Kan? An easy to use method for creating a living network of collaborative dialogue around questions that matter in service to real work. Cafes in different contexts have been named in many ways to meet specific goals. For example, creative cafes, strategy cafes, leadership cafes, community cafes. They're conversations based on the principles and format developed by the World Cafe, global movement to support conversations that matter. It's a provocative metaphor enabling us to see new ways to make a difference in our lives and work. The power of conversation is so invisible and natural that we usually overlook it. For example, consider all the learning and action choices that occur as people move from one conversation to another inside our organizations and communities. What if we considered all of these conversations as one big dynamic cafe, each a table in a larger network of living conversations, which is the core process for sharing our collective knowledge and shaping our future. Once we become aware of the power of conversation as a key process in all aspects of our lives, we can use it more effectively for our mutual benefit. And that people already have within them the wisdom and creativity to confront even the most difficult challenges, that the answers we need are available to us, and that we are wiser together than we are alone. You can see all how it reflects some of community building principles, open space, right? What's essential about the World Cafe? What's essential about the method? We have outlined a series of guidelines for putting conversation to work through dialogue and engagement. If you use these guidelines in planning your meetings and gatherings, you'll find you are able to create a unique environment where surprising and useful outcomes are likely to occur. Always intimate, even when it scales to very large numbers. So 7 design principles. It's not hard. It's limited only by your imagination. It's flexible and adapts to many different circumstances. Set the context. Context, that word again. Pay attention to the reason you are bringing people together and what you want to achieve. Knowing the purpose and parameters of your meeting enables you to consider and choose the most important elements to realize your goals. Who should be part of the conversation? What themes or questions will be most pertinent? What sort of harvest will be more useful? Create hospitable space. Nothing new there. You heard all this from Carms and Victor as well. Cafe hosts around the world emphasize the power and importance of creating a hospitable space, one that feels safe and inviting. People feel comfortable to be themselves, they do their most creative thinking, speaking, and listening. Explore questions that matter. Knowledge emerges in response to compelling questions. Sometimes with facilitation, the most important thing in your design are your questions. Find questions that are relevant to the real-life concerns of the group. Powerful questions that travel well help attract collective energy, insight, and action as they move throughout a system. Depending on the time frame available and your objectives, your cafe may explore a single question or use a progressively deeper line of inquiry through several conversational rounds. Encourage everyone's contribution. As leaders, we are increasingly aware of the importance of participation, but most people don't only want to participate, they want to actively contribute to making a difference. It is important to encourage everyone in your meeting to contribute their ideas and perspectives, while also allowing anyone who wants to participate by simply listening to do so. Connect diverse perspectives, the opportunity to move between tables, meet new people, actively contribute your thinking, and link the essence of your discovery to ever-widening circles of thought is one of the distinguishing characteristics of the cafe. As participants carry carry key ideas or themes to the new tables. They exchange perspectives, greatly enriching the possibility for surprising new insights. Listen together for patterns and insights. Listening is a gift we give to one another. The quality of our listening is perhaps the most important factor determining the success of a cafe. Through practicing shared listening and paying attention to themes, patterns, and insights, we begin to sense a connection to the larger whole. Encourage people to listen for what is not being spoken along with what is being shared. Share collective discoveries. Conversations held at one table reflect a pattern of wholeness that connects with conversations at the other tables. The last phase of the cafe, often called the harvest, involves making this pattern of wholeness visible to everyone in a large group conversation. Invite a few minutes of silent reflection on the patterns, themes, and deeper questions experienced in the small group conversations, and call them out to share with the larger group. Make sure you have a way to capture the harvest. Working with a graphic recorder is very helpful. A lot of words, but I think you can maybe see how it has similarities with open space, kan? By having coffee tables. This is like kupi-kupi in a way, kan? They're trying to make, so where I've seen it, like in RSP, I remember they just almost did like cocktail tables. Okay, here we're gonna talk about this. Here we're gonna talk about this, and then there's the host. Then kau pergi lah, kau chit-chat saja. Then you go around and make sense. Somebody is the host is hosting and someone is taking notes. You can move around, but then there's the sharing of the findings of each table, and then you come to a place where you integrate, you harvest and integrate. It's like open space, right? Open space puts reports on a board, and then we all look at the reports, and then we harvest, and then we may turn it into an action plan. World Cafe may be more that they want to do some kind of a survey about the thoughts of, like I remember with RSP, it was like there was a jurisdiction certification table. So they try to bring everyone, like private sector, government, civil society, so you get everyone's perspective. So it's developing content. It's, getting the voices of your stakeholders. You guys see they in a way not unsimilar. Recently I was on a Zoom World Cafe. So now everything is going into Zoom, so you can even have a Zoom World Cafe. But I mean, really, it's similar. It's a similar methodology, right? Defining the questions. What are the key questions? Then people going to the key questions that they're interested in. They may be interested in a few. You take all their input, you share it, then you harvest for whatever you want to synthesize, however you synthesize it.